We are now in section T9B, feed lines and connectors. Which of the following connectors should be carefully taped for weather protection when used outdoors? D. All of these choices are correct. All coaxial connectors used outdoors need weather protection. Water infiltration into any connector, whether it's a PL259, a BNC, or Type N, causes corrosion, increased signal loss, and unpredictable SWR problems. Self-amalgamating tape or weatherproof sealant should be used. What is the most common impedance of coaxial cables used in amateur radio? B. 50 ohms. 50 ohms is the standard impedance for amateur radio coaxial cable. This value represents a practical compromise between power handling capability and signal loss. Virtually all amateur transceivers, amplifiers, and antennas are designed for 50 ohm systems. Why is coaxial cable the most common feed line for amateur radio antenna systems? A. It is easy to use and requires few special installation considerations. Coaxial cable is popular because it is easy to install and route. Unlike balanced feed lines or ladder line or window line, coax can run along metal surfaces, through walls, and near other conductors without significant performance degradation. What is the major function of an antenna tuner or antenna coupler? B. It matches the antenna system impedance to the transceiver's output impedance. An antenna tuner, more accurately called an antenna coupler or matching network, transforms the impedance presented by the antenna system to match the transceiver's 50 ohm output. This reduces reflective power and allows transmitter to operate efficiently. What happens as the frequency of a signal in coaxial cable is increased? D. The loss increases. Signal loss in coaxial cable increases with frequency. Higher frequency signals experience more attenuation as they travel through coax. This is why UHF installations require higher quality, lower loss cable than HF installations for the same cable length. Which of the following RF connector types is most suitable for frequencies above 400 MHz? B. Type N. Type N connectors are designed for use at frequencies up to 11 GHz and maintain constant 50 ohm impedance. Despite its name, the UHF connector, PL259, has poor performance at UHF frequencies due to its non-constant impedance design. Which of the following is true of PL259 type coax connectors? You can see they are commonly used at HF and VHF frequencies. PL259 connectors and their SO239 chassis counterparts are the most commonly used RF connectors in amateur radio for HF and VHF frequencies. They are inexpensive, widely available, and adequate for frequencies up to about 150 MHz. Which of the following is a source of loss in coaxial feed line? D. All of these are correct. All three sources of loss, water intrusion corrodes conductors and changes impedance. High SWR causes power to bounce back and forth, increasing total distance traveled through lossy cable. Multiple connectors each add a small amount of loss and potential failure points. What can cause erratic changes in SWR? B. A loose connection in an antenna or feed line. Erratic, unpredictable jumping SWR readings are typically caused by loose or intermittent connections in the antenna system or feed line. These create sudden impedance changes and the connection makes and breaks contact, causing SWR to jump around. What is the electrical difference between RG58 and RG213 coaxial cable? C. RG213 cable has less loss at a given frequency. RG213 is a larger diameter cable with significantly less signal loss than RG58 at any given frequency. The larger the conductor size and better shielding of RG213 results in lower attenuation. Which of the following types of feed line has the lowest loss at VHF and UHF? C. Air-insulated hardline. Air-insulated hardline has the lowest loss of any common feed line type. It uses air as the dielectric or insulator between conductors, which has virtually no dielectric loss. It's rigid and It is rigid and expensive, but the gold standard for low-loss feed line. What is a standing wave ratio, or SWR? A measure of how well a load is matched to a transmission line. Standing wave ratio is a measure of how well a load or antenna system is matched to a transmission line. A perfect match is 1-to-1 SWR. Higher SWR values indicate increasing mismatch, which causes reflected power and increased feed line losses. Some key takeaways. 50 ohms is the standard impedance for amateur radio coax. All equipment is designed around this value. 2. Coax cable loss increases with frequency. Use lower loss cable for VHF, UHF, and keep runs short. 3. SWR measures how well your antenna system matches the feed line. 1-to-1 is perfect and 2-to-1 is acceptable. 4. An antenna tuner matches impedance at the transceiver. It does not reduce feed line losses. 5. PL259 connectors work for HF, VHF use. Type in for frequencies above 400 MHz. And 6. All outdoor connectors need weather protection. Water intrusion is the #1 cause of antenna system problems.